Dang it, not again. Keeps on getting stuck and I can't get in. Glad I brought along my trusty battering ram. Okay, let's try this. Perfect. Works like a charm.
Hello everyone and welcome to a retired review. Today we're looking at set number 8757, Visorak Battle Ram. The set was released in 2005, contains approximately 176 pieces, and during time of release was approximately $30. Alright, so here we have yet another System BIONICLE set. This is one of the smaller ones released in 2005, so this probably won't take too long, so we'll go ahead and jump into this shortly. I would like to preface all this by saying that unlike my recap reviews, where I tried my best to make sure everything was as objective as I could make it, these are going to be awfully subjective. These are all going to be based on my personal opinions on the sets, because back in the day when these were released, they weren't too popular, there aren't a lot of reviews on them, there weren't a whole lot of people talking about them and giving their thoughts and opinions, so I don't have a lot to go off of. So that being the case, I'm just going to give you what I think about them, and that'll be the review. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. So right out the gate, it's fine, honestly. To really sum things up before we really begin, it's fine. I like the concept. You know, it is a battering ram of sorts, and while there are some unusual things about it, you know, it's generally all right. Now to start off, the legs are a tad peculiar. I mean, being a battering ram, you know, you'd expect it to look, you know, have the battering part of it, and it does. It really does. But, you know, it's walking on legs, and the articulation is outward. You know, the legs don't go back and forth, not too much. They go like that. And honestly, while they do touch the ground, and it does lift the chassis off of the ground, it's not by much. It's like that much. It's not a whole lot off the ground. I'm not sure why they even really bothered with it, to be honest. Color scheme-wise, I actually rather like the colors. I think that this is one of the more colorful sets from 2005, and I think that's nice. You know, it's got the nice blue, it's got this nice gold in the front, and sure, there are some things that are a tad peculiar, like you have the green here and the red rubber bands, but, you know, they're not too egregious. They don't really bother me. Overall, the build wasn't that bad. I mean, it's fine. You know, there wasn't anything too egregious. Being 2005 instructions, it was basically a, you know, let's spot the difference. But other than that, you know, it was generally okay, and nothing really to write home about, nothing egregious, nothing spectacular. It got the point across. Now, as far as the actual structure, you know, it's a battering ram. You want to see the inside of it, and it's fine. You know, it's a tad skeletal, but it doesn't really need to be bulky either, to be honest. Since this boulder just fell off, let's go ahead and get into the functions, of which it has two, and they're actually, you know, pretty simple, fairly straightforward. Up here we have a catapult, which can turn like so, and this one actually works really, really well. You just pull it back, you put a boulder in the Bohatsu claw, you pull it back, off a boulder goes. It works unbelievably well. It's quite nice. And down here, of course, we have the battering ram function. You just pull this back, let go, or even just push it forward, and it works just like a battering ram. Works perfectly fine, and, you know, nothing too objectionable there. A few other oddities, of course, would be the silver bits right around here. You know, I don't know why they have these weapons, and I don't know why they have these spears, especially over here. Like, you figure you'd want this to be as blunt as possible, not have these fragile spears, but they're there, so they're there. But yeah, no, they're just kind of odd. But other than that, I mean, it's really fine. As far as recolors are concerned, and I am a sucker for recolors, we have two. We obviously have the Visorak head right here in old gold. And then we have this Mata head. And honestly, this is a gold I'm not familiar with, because it's lighter than this old gold here. It's not the copper gold from 2002. and it's not pearl gold from 2005, 2006 onward. So it's this kind of weird new gold that I'm not very well acquainted with. It's kind of cool. I like that. Now, of course, no review about these sets would be complete without talking about the minifigures. As far as the Visorak are concerned, we do have all 6 of the Visorak types, plus 2 additional Visorak, so you have a total of 8. And, I mean, they're fine. They don't really do a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of articulation. They do glow in the dark partially, and that's cool, but that doesn't really have a whole lot of bearing on them, and there's just not a whole lot to do with them. And then, of course, as far as the Toa or Dika, I do not like these, basically at all. They're just glorified chess pieces. They're statuettes. They don't do anything. There's no articulation. And while they look the part, they're just static. And they're boring, and I don't like that. And they have these weird spears, and it's just, they're not interesting. I'm not a fan of these, basically at all. And really, that's kind of about it. There's not a whole lot else I have to say on this. I mean, it's fine, honestly. It's definitely one of the smaller ones, and, you know, it's one of the only ones I got when I was younger when they came out. This was the only one from 2005 that I got, and there's another one from a later year, but I'll worry about that at another point. And the functions work well. The color scheme it's brighter than the others, or at least outside of the big one. The legs seem a tad pointless, honestly, and while I get the look, they don't really add a whole lot to this. The functions work well, and I really appreciate that. The minifigures are nothing to write home about, of course. So yeah, I mean, it's fine. If you're interested in one of the smaller system sets, I recommend it. But if not, I mean, there's nothing you're really missing out on, especially when you can put that money toward other sets that would definitely be a lot better, like really fantastic sets. So yeah, that's basically about it. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. I highly encourage discussion. So please let me know what you think in the comments below. So thank you all so very much for watching, and if you have any thoughts or whatnot, you know where to go. And I'll see you next time when I go over yet another System BIONICLE set. So thank you so very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.